Yeah, welcome to another episode of the podcast Stop Crying Poser, the greatest podcast known to man, as voted by Mothra and Godzilla, the Blob, Dracula, Herman Munster, Ed, and Eddie. All agree this is the greatest podcast known to man. Scootin' Ain't a Crime, OG Mickey, Zip-By, Doja, One Shot, Narlin, Geiges, Jay Cowsley, and more. Watching live. We're a little bit ahead of schedule today or behind schedule. I'm not sure what it is, but I know we didn't start at the regular time. Thanks to Windows and Bill fucking stupid-ass Gates making me update my Windows. Had to restart my computer, forcing me to do it. Like it's Soviet fucking Russia. But we are live right now on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. We got a lot of subscribers, a lot of friends, a lot of bros in the chat. And we're going to talk about all kinds of interesting topics. We're going to start with the news. But after that, we'll talk a little bit about strawberry lemonade beer. Do you like it? I don't know. Maybe I'll try it. I watched the movie Us, Jordan Peele's new scary film. I don't know how I felt about it, but I guarantee you I will not be spoiling it for anyone. I just feel like horror movies are the easiest genre of movie that a human being could possibly make. And I'm saying that as a fan of Get Out. Get Out was a great movie. Also, I got into an argument, a real-life yelling argument with my friend Tony and my girlfriend Lily about being afraid of heights. And I'm just venting to you guys. I need everyone to understand my side of the story. So it's going to get real fucking emotional at the end of the podcast. But before we get into all that shit, we are going to start with the news. First article of the day: ground beef, likely the cause of a 6-state food poisoning outbreak. So I've been eating a lot of hamburgers the past few days, and I've been shitting a lot of liquid. And that might be too much information, or maybe it's not enough the way things are going now, because how would you ever find out that a person has food poisoning had it not been for a little bit of liquid here and there? And then we test the meat, you test the doo-doo, you put it into a test tube, shake it up with some bath salts, and if it turns blue, you got the food poisoning in your poop. So that's the rhyme they've always taught me in school. Can you imagine some dumbass shit? I actually don't know how they test the meat, but the me shitting water is a real story, and I think I'm gonna blame this because I've been eating a lot of ground beef. Someone explained it to me really simply one time. I was at a burger place and I asked for my hamburger medium. And they said, why didn't you get it medium rare? And I said, because it's ground beef, it's easier to get contaminated. And they said, no, it's not. And I said, no, think about it. The way that meat gets contaminated is bad shit ends up on the outside of the meat. I mean, it could probably be on the inside too, but generally bad shit ends up on the outside of the meat. And when you get a steak, what's the first thing that cooks? It completely sears the front and the back. Boom, boom. You kill a lot of the bad shit. But when you ground up, say a ribeye, the outside becomes the inside. Now you have all these thin little strings of meat that now have all this outside that has become the inside, a breeding ground for salmonella, bacteria, AIDS, cancer, rabies, ecoli, skin disease, foot fungus on your meat, HIV, 1, 2, and 3, hepatitis, tetanus. Yeah. Oh, this is a real problem in the United States. There's no vaccine. Is there a vaccine for AIDS? I don't know. Let's fucking read the article. What am I fucking talking about? What a great entertainer. Can you imagine if my podcast had a Yelp review? Yeah, I went onto the podcast only to find out Ninja Lifestyle is a completely retarded human being just naming things off the top of his head that have nothing to do with anything. Oh, good. Health officials say ground beef is likely the source of a food poisoning outbreak that has sickened more than 100 people in 6 states. The CDC on Friday said no specific brand or source of the meat has been determined yet. I'll show you the source of the meat, god damn it. The CDC says people can continue to eat ground beef. The meat should be cooked thoroughly to 160 degrees to kill germs. So apparently that idiot who was just talking about E. coli and tetanus knew what he was talking about. Me. You gotta cook it all the way. You can't be doing no rare ground beef, you fucking idiot. Now, that being said, if you're in a nice 5-star restaurant, however many stars restaurants get, maybe it's got 5 stars on Yelp, you're getting a nice piece of meat that may have been living in the past 14 days, wouldn't that be a treat? Yeah, go for it. Get it rare. As rare as you want. Don't they have that shit tartar? Isn't that shit when you eat it completely raw? I don't know why anyone would do that, but you should. Go do it if you want to. Actually, I am a big fan of ramen. I'm a medium fan of pho. But the best way to get it, I don't know if you guys get it like this, but you order the food and you say, hey, give me the meat on the side. So what you can do, you can grab the meat, you drop it into the pho or the ramen yourself, boom, and you watch it go from like a red color to a brown color, like that. Boom! Changes colors, and then you go, oh, it must be ready, and then you eat it. It's nice. It's a fun little game you can play. But you can't play that game with ground beef because you're playing with people's lives, god damn it. The outbreak started in early March. So far, 109 people have been infected with AIDS, an unusual strain of the bacteria. They reported eating man meat at home and at restaurants. 17 people have been hospitalized. No one has died. Half of the cases are in Kentucky. The others are in Georgia, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, and Virginia. I might have changed the words of that article slightly, but that's up for you to figure out where. So the other day, me and Asian John and Lily, we had hamburgers. We put a little bit of chopped up onions, a little bit of chopped up serrano peppers in the ground beef. Also, what people will often do is crack an egg into the ground beef. That'll help it stay together a little bit. Even a little sprinkling, a dusting of flour. Why would you do that? I don't really know why people do it, but I've seen it done, and I've done it. We had the burgers, we ate them, but I did make a fatal mistake. I made 4 burgers, big burgers. There was only 3 people eating. So guess what happened? One of them accidentally got left out, and then the next day it turned into a hard hockey puck, and then they dropped it on the ice for Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals for the Vegas Golden Knights, and we lost to the Sharks. Now, you know why that is? Because of my fucked up decision to make too many goddamn hamburgers, you fucking idiot. So that's the thing. If you guys have been eating a lot of meat, maybe get your belly checked and buy some extra toilet paper because you're going to need it for that watery butthole. Next article. A man was arrested after setting himself on fire in front of the White House, Secret Service says. Now, this is something that I feel like I should have seen on either Facebook or WorldStar, but I didn't see it. So I'm thinking maybe there's a conspiracy here. Maybe this is just a fake fire to cover up the E. coli. I don't know, but keep asking questions about it. Investigate 311. 211, 9/11. A man was arrested after he set himself on fire near the White House Friday. The Secret Service said on Twitter, what a fucking time to be alive. What a time to be alive. You're getting messages from the Secret Service on Twitter that a man riding a wheelchair-type scooter. What? A scooter rider lit himself on fire? He was probably trying to do the world a favor. He lit his jacket on fire while he was wearing it. The incident happened along the White House's north fence line. Not a tail whoop was done that day. The Secret Service said officers responded immediately, extinguished the fire, and rendered first aid to the man. So it wasn't even that bad. Scooter riders can't even kill themselves correctly. The White House was placed on lockdown. President Donald Trump was in the White House at the time of the incident. The man was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. He was not identified, and his motive is unclear. Where clearly his motive was that he wanted to be on fire at the White House. Maybe Have you ever seen those weird news stories where a big fan of like who's a big like person? Taylor Swift's biggest fan does some outlandish shit to get them to notice them, and then they finally respond on Twitter like, "Hey, I saw that video you made about me. It was a good job." And then the guy goes, "Oh my god, Taylor Swift fucking noticed me." Maybe this guy just really had a man crush, because it did say Scooter Rider, on the well-built, buff, manly men of the Secret Service, and thought to themselves, "Hey, if I could do a backflip, those buff, burly men would certainly notice me. Oh, but I can't backflip, nor can I tail whip. Maybe if I burn myself, no, maybe if I kill myself, they'll finally notice me." And then they tried it, couldn't even do that. Can't do anything, goddammit. Speaking of that, what's your opinion on this scooting ain't a crime? Someone currently in my Twitch chat room is named Scooting. No, Scootin'. Scootin' ain't a crime. Probably one of the... I've seen a lot of really good Twitch usernames, but that was one I really enjoyed. Oh, shit. Guy just with the one-liner. The scooter was for sure a flaming scooterer. Padach. I'll be here all night, guys. Tip your bartenders. Next article. Jennifer Hart drove her 6 children to their deaths as her wife looked up how much they would suffer, jury says. Now, I've always said lesbians are not going to make good parents. I've actually never said that, and that was a complete joke. Don't fucking, please don't write some evil article about me. But this is it seems to be a really fucking crazy story. As a anybody named Jennifer is always drunk. As a drunk Jennifer Hart, related to or not related to Bret Hart and Owen Hart, I don't know. By the way, I heard at the WrestleMania thing, somebody beat up on Bret Hart or Owen Hart. I always forget which one's alive and which one's not. But apparently somebody got beat up by a fan, and I thought I saw an Instagram video, and it didn't look like a beating. It looked like someone grabbed him and rolled him around. So if anyone has any information on that, actually, fuck all that. I've been reading all this shit about WrestleMania. I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I would really have to question my life if the way WrestleMania went affected the rest of my week. If I was still on Facebook 7 days later, like, I can't believe Ronda Rousey lost like that. Total BS, man. I feel like if I was in a situation where I was still angry about WrestleMania, I would be on fire in front of the White House, hoping to gain attention from those buff, burly, oily Secret Service men. It's just a crazy idea that people can be so hyped on WrestleMania. I want to know what happened. So, Iono says, I guess the guy who got tackled beat up... Oh, wait a minute. The guy who tackled Brett got beat up by Travis Brown. Okay, well, there we have it, folks. American news at its finest. Anyways, let's get back to the real famous Hart member of the Hart family, Jennifer Hart. As a drunk Jennifer Hart drove her 6 adopted children in their family SUV, her wife, Sarah, sat in the passenger seat, looking up different ways to end a life. So these are 2 real fucking weird people, I imagine. The SUV carrying the Hart family would drive off a 100-foot Pacific Coast cliff on that day in March last year. A tragedy police say took all 8 lives and sparked questions about abuse and homicide. As the car was in motion, Sarah was busy with the searches. I quote, "How easily can I overdose on over-the-counter medications? Can 500 milligrams of Benadryl kill a 125-pound person? How long does it take to die from hypothermia while drowning in a car?" One of her last searches was for a no-kill dog shelter. Now, the most important part of this is how much it annoys me when I'm driving and the person next to me is just stuck on their phone. Ah, man. I used to do that with Richie. We would go on trips to San Diego, and I'd be like, hey, you man the GPS, I'll drive. And it would be like maybe 30 minutes into it, and he's just fucking Googling shit, not paying attention to the road, and I fucking don't know where the fuck to go. So maybe that's what happened here. Maybe she was trying to get the GPS of the nearest Walgreens to get 500 milligrams of Benadryl, and she lost the fucking GPS, looked over at her wife. Sarah, how do I get to the Walgreens? I don't fucking know. I'm looking at the no-kill dog shelter. Then they all died. Probably not a laughing matter. This is actually a really sad story, and I think it, you know what? It's a weird thing, this freedom that we have here in America to search such crazy things online and have no one like call the police. Because if you ask these things out loud at Walgreens, like, hey, can this kill me if I take fucking 30 of these? Ma'am, I'm gonna need you to fucking stay here. I'm calling the police. But you can search for all that shit and it's all good. Then again, if everyone's search history was public, I'd be embarrassed because guess what? Fucking 22 years old, didn't know how to make mac and cheese, had to fucking Google it. And what if the world knew? I guess they do know now because I'm fucking snitching on myself. But didn't know how to make mac and cheese back in the day. Had to Google it. Also, how stupid do you have to be to not figure out how to kill yourself? Just go fucking do it. There's a million ways. A million ways to die in the West. Watch the movie, rent it, figure it out. I would do something clever and creative. Go die in quicksand, like the good old Mario Brothers days. Or go find a venomous snake and attack yourself with it. Guy just says, instructions are on the box. Yeah, you get any prescription medicine, just read the back of it. It tells you exactly what not to do. Don't drink this with alcohol. Don't take these pills with alcohol. Don't operate a heavy machine. So yeah, that's all you gotta do is go fucking take a bunch of them, go try to drive a train. Probably not a train because it's stuck to the tracks. What's the most dangerous thing to drive? A motorcycle. Or just your SUV, I guess. It worked pretty well for them. Really sad story, and it makes me extra sad that kids were involved. I'm making all these jokes, and this is a morbid podcast, all right? We're gonna make jokes. They're gonna be terrible jokes. They're gonna hurt feelings, and they're gonna make you a little uncomfortable sometimes. That's what the fuck I do. But it does make me really sad that children were killed. If you two fucking lesbians want to go kill each other, just go do it. Jump off the fucking bridge, scissoring your way to death. Certain death. Right after taking 500 milligrams of Benadryl and overdosing on over-the-counter medications. Or just overdose on something gnarly. Heroin. While falling to your death. Jump out of a plane. Don't pull the fucking thing on your parachute splatter like a tomato. Like, you have all these different ways to do it. And there's really no reason to hurt these fucking kids. They didn't do anything. The kids' names were Marcus, Jeremiah, Abigail, Devontae, Hannah, and Sierra. They were all adopted, which, I don't know, man. You really got to look at who's adopting these kids because someone's probably having a real bad, like, panic attack right now about signing off on these two fucking crazy lesbians. Like, yeah, I think they're okay to take care of kids. Check. Shouldn't be like that. Probably, here's the thing. I'm going to blow your guys' minds right now. If you get denied the ability to own a gun, to buy a gun, they do a background check. If you're not allowed to buy a gun, they should make it to where you also are not allowed to adopt a kid. Because clearly these two people had weird fucking issues in their brains, and now we lost 6 kids that could have went on to do fucking anything in their lives. And, I don't know. It's just really sad. The driver got intoxicated to build her courage. Whatever. When authorities entered the Hart home, it seemed neat, orderly, newly remodeled. Blah, blah, blah. Investigators noted that their luggage was left behind, and the family did not take their toothbrushes before leaving for 2 days. As Jennifer drove down the highway, she had 5 beers in her system. Oh my God, 5 beers. Oh no, fucking stop the press. Enough to make it difficult for her to function. Who can't function after 5 beers? Obviously, y'all have never watched me play Mario 64. God damn it. I get 5 beers in. Oh, I'm doing cheat codes. Shit you've never even fucking seen before. Pillarless. Cannonless. Lakitu skip. Triple fucking bounce box jump. Up, up, down, down, left, right. B.A., B.A. Idiot. The theory is that she drank to build up her courage. My feeling... No, she probably drank that much so she could get a perfect angle at the cliff. 5 beers. 5 beers. Have you never seen me play Johnny Geiger and skate 5 beers in? Fucking nollie heel flip. Perfection. Makes you better. My feeling is based on talking to witnesses that they felt if they couldn't have those kids, no one was going to have those kids. Are you fucking kidding me? That makes me fucking furious, dude. That makes me furious. Kids sought help in the middle of the night. Days before the family died in the crash, CPS in Washington requested a welfare check on the family, but no one answered the door. The family was already gone. Calls to the police began just 2 years after the Harts became parents while they were living in Minnesota. They were first called in 2008 when one child told an adult that Jennifer struck the child in the arm. But the state closed the case claiming the child fell. After another call in 2011, Sarah Hart pleaded guilty to domestic assault and admitting to police she bruised her child by spanking her over the edge of the bathtub. Not that big of a deal, I think. After the family moved to Woodland, Washington, the children started going to their neighbor Bruce for help and food in the middle of the night. The children also complained of racist behavior. What? Oh my God, I'm fucking furious. This is terrible. Anyways. At first, only Jennifer, Sarah, and 3 children were identified. Jennifer was intoxicated. Sarah and the 2 children tested positive for dihydramine, an active ingredient in Benadryl. They did the whole thing. They drugged up the kids and drove off the cliff. I hate these fucking people. Oh, man. I don't even want to really read about this anymore. This just makes me angry. I knew it was going to be a morbid episode, but that just makes me fucking angry. Anyways. Speaking of terrible things, a man renovating his childhood home uncovers the remains of his missing mother. Well. So I was thinking that, okay, when I read this article, I thought, like, I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, maybe she was cleaning the chimney, fell in, got stuck, nobody found her, and then it was just some innocent mistake. Or maybe she got wedged underneath the bed and got stuck there and then just died. But those are really stupid things that I would be thinking. So the real story is, I guess she was murdered and buried in the backyard. So let's read. When Aaron Frazier began excavating behind his childhood home in Jacksonville, Florida, as part of a renovation in 2014, he made a gruesome discovery: human remains. They were the skull and bones of his mother, Bonnie Haim, who had gone missing in January 1993 and whose body had not been found. Prosecutors say that discovery led to officials to arrest her then husband, Michael Haim, and charge him with second-degree murder. The truth was always out there, buried in the backyard. That's crazy. Michael and Bonnie Haim had been having marital problems, and he has long been a prime suspect in the case. His defense attorney was Janice Warren, said in her opening remarks. He was maintained in his innocence since her disappearance. An interview with a CNN affiliate shortly after Bonnie disappeared in 1993, he said she left their home on the night of January 6th after a relationship issue. Basically, she just wasn't happy and she wanted to leave, and I couldn't stop her from leaving, he said. Warren said prosecutors did not have enough evidence to prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. We agree she's dead. We agree that's her body in the backyard, but they have to prove to you that he did it. When you listen to the evidence, ladies and gentlemen, and when you're finished, you're going to see the lack of evidence in this case far outweighs any evidence they brought you. So maybe that's... Oh, he did... Okay, so this is going to be a case that's going to happen. I was thinking, whoa, so he's going to still pretend he's innocent. Holy shit. The childhood memories of Frazier, who was 3 when his mother disappeared, are expected to be a major part of the case against Michael Haim. Childhood memories when you're 3? Do you have that many memories when you're 3 years old? After his mother disappeared, he told a child welfare worker at the time, "Daddy hurt mommy." Aaron also stated that, quote, Daddy shot mommy, and daddy could not wake her up in a 2015 arrest affidavit. Oh my God, fucking, this is a scary fucking thing. This is a scary movie. Jesus. Opening statements in the trial. Bonnie Hames' remains were found under a shower pallet in the home's backyard. What is a shower pallet? Is that the same thing as like a grocery pallet or a warehouse pallet? I feel like that'd be a good place to look. Like, hey, if you want to find some fresh dirt, if you're looking for a dead body, maybe look under shit that's covering what would then be fresh dirt. I don't know. A .22 caliber shell was also found near the body, and Michael Haim owned a .22 caliber rifle. The plot thickens. Although a medical examiner could not affirmatively determine how she was killed, Mizrahi argued that Michael Haim shot her and then buried her there in 1993. You know what else happened in 1993? UFC number 1. Not related at all to this article. The defendant's actions. You never know when you're going to need to know that little bit of trivia. The defendant's actions before the killing and after the killing demonstrate his depraved indifference to Bonnie Haim's life. Investigators had searched the property several times in the years after her disappearance, but did not find her remains until Fraser's discovery 2 decades later. This was the piece of the puzzle that we really felt was missing. Jacksonville Sheriff's Officer blah, blah, blah said, there are so many unsolved or cold cases that are in this same situation where we just need that one clue, that one tip, that one piece. Here we were able to get it and start that piece of closure. Sorry, guys, I can't read. In fact, if you go back and read what I just said, I changed all the words up to make it sound like if I was talking. The attorney said the prosecutors would not be able to prove that he killed her and placed her body there on the night she disappeared. The only thing that's important is, can they prove he killed her? And can they prove he put the body in the yard? There's no evidence of either of those, she added. Now, if there was a real thing as a Batman and he... Okay, here's what we could do. You get 2 crazy lesbians hopped up on Fireball and Benadryl, give them a fucking fake Batman outfit, and they should just go around killing all the people that are absolutely, for sure, guilty of murder. That way they wouldn't have to kill innocent fucking kids, fucking bat fat and back fat too, but bat fat and back fat. I just have a feeling both those chicks are fucking fat. I don't know. You know what? Call it a psychic intuition. I have a feeling the women from the previous article are both fat and unhappy with their lives. They could have just went over here, instead of killing 6 innocent kids, they could have killed this fucking guy, because he's pretty fucking clearly guilty, right? I mean, all I'm doing is reading the article. How would I actually know what happened? I don't fucking know what happened. I'm just saying that if the law doesn't get this guy, then back fat and bat fat should do it. And if not them, then the sun. Or somebody. Just somebody out there. You know what old people should do when they're like, I'm old and gray and I'm about to die in the next year? They should go out with a bang. Just go fucking... There's Bill Burr. They should fucking do it! Bill Burr. Just go out there. Fucking kill somebody. What do you want to do? Go out there. Find somebody who's for sure guilty of something and just kill them. Just kill them and see if you can get away with it, old man. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But I feel like that would be that'd be a cool story. That'd be a cool comic book. That's going to be the comic books of the future. But yeah, obviously don't really do that. We're telling jokes here. We're allowed to tell some jokes. We're allowed to have some laughs. But when somebody fucking kills their wife in front of their 3-year-old son and gets away with it for 20 years, and then all the evidence comes out and you're for sure totally fucking guilty and you still beat the case, just feel like maybe there should be a rule that you should be able to get fucked up really bad. But hey, that's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, let me know in a comment below. That's all I have for the news. So, yeah, pretty morbid news. We're going to move into stories of my life in the future. or in the past. Basically just stories of my life all week. But first, I want to give you guys the trivia question. This is going to be a pretty easy trivia question for all you drug addicts out there. And I might not even know if your answer is correct. So, to win a free Ninja Lifestyle Sticker Pack mailed directly to your place of residence if you live in the United States, all you have to do is answer this question. Name 3 psychedelic drugs. Yeah, just name 3. You don't even got to say them by their actual chemical name. Just name 3 psychedelic drugs. First one who I see in the chat wins. I don't know, says shrooms, acid, DMT. Simple as that, guys. Right here on Stop Crying Poser, all you have to do is know a little bit about drugs to win a free, motherfucking free, god damn it, free, F-R-E-E sticker pack shipped directly to you. Edgy. Yeah, it's a real edgy fucking podcast right here. Oh, man, it's just fucking right on the edge of sanity and humor and offensiveness. Speaking of being offended, I was at the grocery store the other day and I saw a 30-pack of strawberry lemonade natural light. Now I thought to myself, hey, I should try this. Except I don't want to try 30 of them. So I really pondered. The average price of a natural light would be $14. About $14. So I'm thinking to myself, hey, should I pay $14 for 30 strawberry lemonade beers? The answer came out to no. But I made that decision on my own. Lily was there and she's like, don't you fucking buy that. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm allowed to do whatever the fuck I want to do. So I really want to try it now. I just feel like 30 of something is way too many. You can't try something and have it be 30 of them, right? Could you imagine your first time smoking a cigarette? Like, yeah, I'll try a cigarette. Here's 30 all at once. Smoke them all. And they're all flavored like strawberry and lemonade. Oh, and they're not going to get you drunk. They're probably only 4% cigarette. Probably not the greatest example. Think about it like methamphetamine. Here, try this one fucking, I don't know, how much do people do? Try this 1 gram? Try this 1/4 gram of methamphetamine. Oh, no. Times that by 30. Then you just die. You probably just die, right? You can die off that shit. Or no, speaking of shrooms, acid, and DMT, hey, you want to try acid? Here's 1 hit, but you have to do all 30 right now. I don't know, we've gotten really off topic here. I really don't even remember. I don't remember at all what the point of this fucking topic was at all, except that I really want to try the strawberry lemonade natural light. Back in the day, there was a store down the street from my house called Munchies, and they were going out of business, and they had these weird, like, Bud Light shandies. It was like a weird orange can, orange and silver, and it was 3.3% alcohol, and the cans were only 9 ounces, so they were tiny little cans, and there was barely any alcohol in it. But I'll give you guys a guess. How much do you think a 12-pack was? Go ahead and guess in your head right now. How much would a 12-pack be? Granted, they are smaller, so you think a regular 12-pack is $9, okay? Okay, well, it can't be $9 because you're only getting 9 ounces per beer. So you think, maybe like 9, 8, 7, maybe $6. Oh, no. They were $1.99. I went in there. I don't remember the exact math, but I think I paid for about $20, and I got 108 beers. Yeah, that happened. It was great. I still have some of the old cans in the backyard, but I will tell you guys this, never got drunk, not once off of them. I could drink one every hand. Gulp, gulp, gulp. 3% alcohol. Great, refreshing summer shandy, orange, just a hint of citrus taste. Never got me drunk. Maybe I just want to go back in time. Because at that store, they had them piled from the ground to the ceiling. Hundreds of these boxes. Could you imagine what I could have done with like a $100 bill? I could have ran out of space in my fridge. I think somewhere on my Instagram or maybe on my Facebook, I still have a picture of all those beers. If I do, I will post a picture in the Discord if I still have it. Just so you guys know that I'm not lying. Basically, the story has no fucking point whatsoever. Just telling you guys that Natural Light came out with a new beverage, and I might want to give it a try. Speaking of that, I should get a fucking beer sponsor for the podcast. Wow. Somebody remind me of that on Twitter, on Instagram, on Discord. Everyone flood my inbox with reminders that I should get a beer sponsor for the podcast. Can you imagine that? At the beginning every day, this podcast is brought to you by purified drinking water, 16.9 fluid ounces, 1.05 pints, 500 milliliters. Except it would be with beer, and I'd be getting drunk during the podcast. Actually, you guys probably don't want me drunk during a podcast. We already break almost every fucking rule all the time. That might be a mistake. So, enough about the fruity beers, you fucking Fruit Loops. Last night, I saw the movie Us, Jordan Peele's new movie. I'm not going to spoil it, okay? Basically, it's some type of horror movie where this family of four meets like an evil version of their also family of four, and it's the struggle where they try to kill each other. I'm not really spoiling anything you haven't already seen in the trailers, but I feel like horror movies are the easiest movies to make, and I've been watching a lot of them lately because Lily loves them, and I watch them, and as a filmmaker, I don't know, I just get so bored and annoyed. I always know when it's a perfect time to go take a piss or grab a drink, because you could film a scene like something. Here's a great example. It's not in the movie, but picture this. Dark room. Thunder. Lightning. You see the shadow of a windowsill, like an X of a window shadowing on the ground. That's the way they frame the shot. And then you hear little whispers with high reverb, so it's kind of echoing whispers. And then you hear someone walking. Close up on someone's eyeballs, blinking, scared, sweating. Then slow-mo as they turn their face. Ooh. Then something darts across the screen. Someone gets nervous. Then you hear it again. Show the window again. Basically, repeat that for 15 fucking minutes of absolutely not a goddamn thing happening. And then do that about 4 more times throughout the movie, and you've already killed an hour and a half of apparently my non-valuable time. Every fucking horror movie, I could tell the story of every horror movie literally in 2.5 minutes. Now, you take a good movie, for example, The Shawshank Redemption, you can't explain that movie in 2.5 minutes. The movie has substance. There's things going on. All right? The horror movie version of Shawshank, it would have been that guy Andy breaking the sewer pipe. It would have been that for 97 minutes of him looking up, looking at the window, slamming it down, slow motion, and then it just shows a spider web, just randomly, spider web, a leaky pipe, drip, drip, drip. It drives me fucking insane that they can have these long movies with nothing happening. Oh, I can't even watch these fucking, is it Jason or Freddy? Which one walks slow as fuck for the entire movie, yet always catches up to you? Like, I feel like, you know when you're writing an essay in school and you have to have a certain amount of words? So you start writing things like, it would seem that the possibility of perhaps Columbus's supposed discovery of what may have then he thought was another country, which actually in turn ended up being the United States, the great country of the United States of America, which when in his mind thought was something else, eventually led to a terrible thing with the people who had already lived in the place that he had once seemed to have thought would have once been the place of America. You start adding fucking words for no reason. That's what they do with horror movies. They just add bullshit, walking around, zooming in on people's faces, and bullshit, and you'll never fucking know. Half the horror movies, there's no fucking closure. All right? There's no closure. I watched the newest, I think it's Jason. The newest Jason, is that the one with the hockey mask? I watched the newest one. Lily made me go see it. And it was like they used all the same actors and shit. And at the end of the movie, I'm going to spoil this one for you guys. It was called Halloween, actually. They locked him in this fucking cage and then set the house on fire and then walked away. They had to walk away because it's like, ooh, maybe he'll come back to life. Why? Because you know that you can't fucking come up with a good ending with closure the way that we did with such a movie as, The Green Mile, perhaps? The Shawshank Redemption? Yeah, I don't want to just name all movies of the same genre, but I'm saying you can't explain those movies in 2 seconds the way you can with horror movies. I know I sound like a broken record. The amount of time it would take to make a fucking horror, I should do that. I'm going to make a horror movie on YouTube. I'm going to make a short 10-minute horror movie which has absolutely nothing happening. It's you know what it's going to be? It's going to be me about to skateboard, and it's just going to be like filming like cracks in the street. Oh no, pebble. Ooh, pebble. Shadow. Ooh, pollen falling from the tree. Oh, I have allergies. Oh no. And just slow motion bull, and then me just sweating. Ooh, my heartbeat. Yeah, then it just films a spider web and a dripping fucking sink. And then suddenly I'll just scream at the camera. And then it's like, it's just fucking bullshit, man. So yeah, the movie Us, no fucking closure, no idea what happened. The whole movie, I could explain it in fucking 30 seconds. No one knows what started it, what ended it, what happened in the middle. No one fucking knows, except there's a couple of cool fight scenes. So, whatever. No story behind it. I don't know. I started to read a book back in the day. It was about some fucking alien invasion, and the entire book was just the lead up to when the aliens land, and then the aliens landed, and then the book ended. I don't remember the book because I never fucking wanted to read it or think about it ever again, but there was no stories of aliens, there was no nothing. Just a fucking, oh no, the aliens are gonna come. Oh no, the aliens are gonna come. What are we gonna do? Oh, the aliens are gonna come. Oh shit, aliens. Oh fuck, watch out for the aliens. Then they fucking land, and it's like, the end. Aliens landed. What are we gonna do? I don't know. Guess we'll have to find out for ourselves. The end. Stupid fucking movies, man. So yeah, Us was a good movie, directed good, entertaining, I guess. Just very typical horror movie. It was stupid. I didn't like it. So that was that. If you have seen the movie Us, please let me know your thoughts without spoiling it for anyone in a comment below. I got into an argument the other day with Lily and Tony about being afraid of heights. So I want you guys in the chat to actually help me out here. I'm afraid of heights. I go cliff jumping every summer. I can't wait to go. We jump off these cliffs. They're about 30 feet high. Every time I walk up there, I look down and I start shaking. My hands start shaking. My neck gets real tight. My mouth gets dry. My stomach hurts. I feel like I have to poop. I'm looking down. Even though I know it's water, even though I know it's not going to hurt, I look down and I get fucking freaked out because I'm scared of heights. Same as when I go up in an elevator. If I'm in an elevator and I can see myself ascending, I get fucking weird feeling in my stomach. I get scared. I get fucking fearful because I'm afraid of heights. When I get on a plane, all right? The only times I'm ever afraid on a plane is right when it takes off and right when it's about to land. All the other times, I don't fucking care because when I'm all the way 10,000 feet in the air, I can't really see the ground. I can't picture myself falling. There's hundreds and thousands of examples of me always being afraid of heights, right? I went rock climbing at the YMCA. Some shit where I climb up, and while I climb, somebody has a rope. So their body weight is what's holding me up. I got scared when I got to the top because I was scared to just let go. Even though I knew there was a piece of rope attached to me, I was fucking scared to let go because I'm fucking terrified of heights. I'm scared of heights, and that will be something I will never get over. I will always be afraid of heights. So when I go cliff jumping, I still feel that fear, and I just break through it, and I jump anyways. I'm still afraid. I still have a fear of heights, but I jump anyways because I guess I conquer that feeling for the moment. But then I climb back up, I look down, and I get scared again. Both Lily and Tony told me that I'm not afraid of heights, that I'm fake afraid of heights because I'm able to jump. And they said some people are so afraid that they're not able to jump. And I said to myself, well, I don't know what to tell those people. Maybe they have an issue with getting through their fear. But telling me that I'm not afraid when I'm clearly up there shaking is wrong. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the chat. Don't fucking tell me that I'm not afraid, because every time I get in there, I'm fearful. All the characteristics of fear are pulsing through my body, and then I jump, I get in the water, I climb up, I come up, I do it again. So I'm always scared, and I'm still afraid of heights. When I climb up on my roof and I lean over, I'm afraid. I get afraid. I get a really bad feeling in my stomach. Now, just because I've conquered it every time that I jump off the cliff, also, granted, there's a lot of cliffs I'm too scared to jump off of. When you get in like that 50-foot range, I'm too scared. I can't fucking do it. But the fact that I've jumped off these cliffs does not negate the fact that I am still afraid of heights. I will still go home after jumping off that cliff, and if I have to climb a ladder, I will get scared. My stomach will feel bad. So they say, oh no, like you're not really afraid, you've conquered it. Because if you were really afraid, you wouldn't be able to jump. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I'm saying there may be different levels of fears of heights. Like there might be some people who are completely terrified of heights. There might be people terrified of heights combined with open water. Maybe that's why they can't jump. But my general fucking fear of heights is not negated because I fucking jumped off a cliff. And Lily was like, well, you're kind of making it like you're being hard on yourself. You conquered your fear. It's almost like you're making fun of yourself. And it's like, no, this isn't about making fun of anyone. This is about me knowing certain things that cause me a lot of fear. And I was looking at Tony. I was like, hey, dude, what if there was a big giant fucking spider on this table right now crawling right at you? And he goes, I'd be scared as fuck. And I'd go, and I told him, well, you told me a story of you went to a petting zoo and you held a spider. So yeah, I held a spider, but I was really scared. But the people who were there told me that the spider can't bite. So I held the spider. And I was like, oh, so you held a spider once, therefore you're never afraid of spiders again? And he's like, no, it's not like that. And I'm like, no, I know. Because just because you do something once doesn't mean you lose this. I feel like it's a genetic thing. Because here's the thing. I think there's a lot of people who can go on those cliffs, jump off, and not even feel like an ounce of fear at all. Because why? Those people are not afraid of heights. They were not genetically given the fear of heights. So Cassidy says you can still be afraid and do all that stuff. I feel like you are agreeing with me. Cassidy also says everyone has a different level of what they can and can't do. KOBJJ says I think everyone is afraid. I mean, I'm afraid too, but I don't consider myself afraid of heights. Guy just says it's terrifying. Yeah. So this is for you, Lily. I know you're not going to fucking watch the podcast, but just because I'm able to fucking jump off the cliff sometimes doesn't mean that my fear of heights is suddenly fucking gone. God motherfucking damn it. I'm right. How could anyone even take her side? Oh, man. I'm glad we got a chance to clear this up, everybody. Glad we did. If you don't agree with me, let me know in a comment below. That's all the time we have for today's podcast. I feel like we didn't have that many topics, but we really stretched it out into something great, much like a horror film. Can you imagine if I only had one topic, but I just dilly-dallied around it for the entire 45 minutes? We actually went overtime today. Cassidy says, facing your fear will never stop it. Like my social anxiety, for example. I get told so many times that I'm faking it because I stream and I talk to people. Like, yeah, talking to people scares me, but I still do it. Mike says, I'm scared of ghosts, but I go to sleep in the dark every night. Exactly. That's actually pretty funny, Mike. Guy just says, you have to just trust that you won't die and leave all the bullshit on the cliff. Like it's some fucking octagon. You leave all the shit in the octagon, man. It's all in the ring. Don't bring that shit with you, man. No baggage allowed. Anyways, I want to thank everybody for being here today for today's podcast. I woke up a little bit early today, and I should have spent that time preparing, but I didn't. So if you showed up late, don't worry. There will be a post show where we can really hang out. I won't still be having this announcing voice where I scream at the camera. We're going to play some video games. If you didn't watch this live, show up on Friday, right here live, twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. You can also follow me on Instagram and YouTube, where I will be giving you guys reminders every Friday to watch live. If you showed up late today, don't worry. You can watch the podcast on Sunday, either on iTunes, Podbean, or YouTube. Everybody go ahead and give me a hell yeah so I can shout everybody out. KOBJJ, Guy Just Cassidy, Mike Pay, KY, The Psycho, INO, a 13-month subscriber. We have new subscriber badges. If you don't have Twitch and you want to get on Twitch to support me, you can donate money. You can subscribe, which gives you access to emotes that you can use all across the entire Twitch website. One of which being Steve Harvey with a weird shaped head. So I feel like I was kind of lazy on that one, but you know what? You do what you can do. Guy, just Jay Cowsey, TJ Vanis, KY, everybody. Appreciate you guys being here. Definitely try to watch this live if you're watching on YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube or if you're watching now, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and or a beautiful work week. Saturday's video will be a video of me critiquing Andy Schrock's skateboarding. And I don't know what's going to be else in store for the YouTube channel of Ninja Lifestyle. There's only one way to find out. Hit that fucking subscribe button. God damn it. Let's play that intro. Take Benadryl, eat ground beef, get E. coli, AIDS, and then renovate your backyard and make sure your fucking mom's not there. All right? All right.